Mamdani meets Trump to ask for $21 billion funding for NYC homes. U.S.-Iran nuclear talks end without breakthrough. War risks persist. Russia, Belarus stand together against sanctions in support of multipolar world. Putin. Delhi court acquits Kejriwal in corruption case. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani met U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House to request $21 billion in federal funding for housing and infrastructure projects. Mamdani is seeking support to build about 12,000 affordable homes, along with parks, schools, and health centers, mainly in the Queens area. City officials say the plan could become the largest housing investment in New York in more than 50 years. After the meeting, Mamdani said discussions were productive and that both sides agreed to continue talks in the coming weeks. Despite past political disagreements, the meeting appeared cordial, with both leaders expressing interest in expanding housing development. Mamdani also said President Trump agreed to release a Columbia University student who had been detained earlier by federal immigration authorities. The proposed project is being described as a major effort to address New York City's housing crisis. Indirect nuclear talks between United States and Iran have ended without an agreement, highlighting ongoing tensions and fears of possible conflict in the Middle East. The negotiations in Geneva were mediated by Badr al-Busaidi, who said there was, quote, significant progress, but no final deal. Technical discussions are expected to continue next week in Vienna, where the International Atomic Energy Agency is based. Iran says it will continue enriching uranium, refuses to send enriched material abroad, and wants international sanctions lifted, positions that differ from U.S. demands. President Donald Trump is pushing for a deal to limit Iran's nuclear program. Iran insists its program is peaceful and says it will not negotiate over its missile program or regional alliances. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi warned that any U.S. attack would trigger retaliation against American bases, and possibly Israel, raising fears of a wider war. The Geneva meeting was the third round of talks since last year's conflict between Israel and Iran, when U.S. forces struck Iranian nuclear sites. Despite the lack of agreement, both sides kept diplomatic channels open, suggesting negotiations will continue. Analysts warn that, if diplomacy fails, the region could face serious military escalation, with risks to global oil supplies and regional stability. Russian President Vladimir Putin says Russia and Belarus are working together to resist international sanctions and promote a multipolar world order. Speaking at a meeting of the Union States Supreme Council, Putin said the two countries are cooperating closely despite economic pressure from sanctions. He said Moscow and Minsk aim to build a fairer global system with multiple centers of power, rather than one dominated by a single power. Putin also expressed confidence that Russia-Belarus cooperation will continue to grow, focusing on economic integration and improving living standards for people in both countries. The statement reflects the strengthening alliance between Russia and Belarus amid ongoing geopolitical tensions. An Indian court has acquitted former Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in a long-running corruption case that he had called a politically motivated conspiracy. Kejriwal, a senior leader of the Aam Aadmi Party, was arrested in March 2024 over allegations of corruption linked to liquor license allocations. He spent several months in jail but consistently denied the charges. On Friday, a Delhi court cleared Kejriwal, his former deputy Manish Sisodia, and 21 others of all charges. After the verdict, Kejriwal said, "Truth has won," and accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah of trying to weaken his party. Kejriwal had been serving as Delhi's chief minister before losing the 2025 election, when Rekha Gupta of the Bharatiya Janata Party became the new leader of the capital. Kejriwal first rose to national prominence through an anti-corruption movement before entering politics. The case comes amid broader concerns from critics who say legal actions against opposition leaders in India have increased in recent years.